Scientifically, even astronomically, the Earth is moving towards an axis where it will be bang in the center of quasar. Quasar is a cluster of stars which are very, very bright. And this is the human intelligence is going to be at its highest when it gets the full rays of the quasar. And human intelligence, not necessarily just in technology, there'll be telepathy, there'll be understanding, there'll be harmony among people. There'll be love among all human beings and animals and about all creations of God. People will be free of diseases, bodily and mentally, that they can only be if they are into divine consciousness. So people will live as per the divine. So that time is not very far away. You will live to see it, I assure you. Yes?
Are there any differences between, the way you practice Hinduism, having Sai Baba as a divine incarnation, and other communities or other people that practice?
Yes, there are differences. See, there is a distinct difference between religion and spiritualism. Religion are the paths that people follow. Even in the Hindu culture, there are many different kind of deities or paths that people follow. I don't believe so much in rituals. I believe in reality. I believe that in order to connect to God, all you need is a true heart. That's all. You don't need all these austerities and yagyas and procedures and all to do. They are laid out for certain purposes and for certain ages. Those ages are gone now. People cannot, and all those people who apparently propose to do it, they probably don't know it truly or don't follow it truly. But really speaking, the path towards God, the true righteous path, is only one word for it: love. That's all. Love for God, that is the ultimate thing. That is the red button. And you have a hotline connection with God. God is as far from you as far as you are away from Him. And there are no rituals or procedures in the middle. It's straight away heart-to-heart hotline connection. You have to have faith, you have to have sincerity, you have to believe that. You believe, it will become. Simple as that.
Welcome to our center, and we are indeed honored and privileged that you have decided to come here and visit us. When Rakesh, Dr. Kumar told me about it, I was very excited. So basically the reason, by the way, my name is Laina Karthikeyan, and I had to work, as all of us do. It's a weekday, and I had to give some lectures and come back, rush home. I decided that since it's a cultural event and it's a religious place, I'll wear my traditional sari, and I had to change clothes, got caught in the traffic, so it was a very hectic commute here. And looking at the time, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm late by an hour and a half almost. So a little background about myself, then we can just chat, make it very informal, is I'm, as you can see, of Indian origin, but I was raised and I was born in Singapore. And I decided to come to the US for higher studies and pursued a master's at Boston University in molecular biology. I got interested very much in molecular biology and then decided to do a PhD in the field in neuroscience, and I moved to NYU School of Medicine. I did a PhD from there, did my postdoc, worked as a researcher, and then worked as a scientist in a biotech company, working in the area of, partially, it's not completely, at that time we didn't have much of stem cell research, but we were finding out alternate mechanisms to repair mutations, single cell mutations. So I did that, and now it's completely changed. I decided to make a shift from research to, I've always, as a young girl, growing up in Singapore, I became a Sai Baba devotee at a very young age. So when, in spite of having achieved all this, as most of you here have, I guess from what I read, all of you are educators also, I decided that my calling was not with test tubes and publications and hoping for the Nobel Prize, which all of us do one day. It was not that. I was much more than that. I wanted to do something more. and with my life. And that's why I made the decision to teach. I did a short stint at teaching in one of the colleges, and I saw it, that there are so many underprivileged people coming from all walks of life. It's not like the environment that I grew up in, or when I came to the medical school, it was totally different. So I saw this when I was teaching for a very short time as an adjunct professor, and I decided that that was my calling. And I had students write to me, even though it was a span of just a summer, I decided to teach in the midst of working as a scientist. And I said, this is where I want to go, and I joined the CUNY system, the City University. And the college that I teach with, which is New York City College of Technology, has a lot of, it's one of the most multi-ethnic strata. They come from all ethnicities and all walks of life. Many of them are first-time college goers. So it's a very challenging environment. It's an undergraduate level. So I see that as my calling to do Sai's work. And I'm teaching, lecturing. I'm a biologist, so I lecture in different areas of biology and also do research with them. But the best part of my profession is, I would say, in spite of all this, my biggest achievement in my life is being an SSEHV coordinator. I don't know whether you've heard of that, what SSEHV is. Satya Sai Baba's education in human value system. I do this as on a voluntary basis. Every Sunday, there's a group, it's not in the center, there's another center, Satya Sai Baba Center in Flush, it's the Flushing Center actually, it's called the Flushing Center, not far from here. Every Sunday, we have classes for the children, ages from 6 to 18. All right, and we've split them into different groups 1, 2, 3, and 4 now. 16 to 18 is considered as group 4, and then we have young adults. The rest are young adults from 19 to 30 is a big span of 35. They are considered to be young adults. So we have. I was the first. I'm very happy that in 1990, I was the first person who initiated this whole process of having this. Satya Sai education in human values started in the Flushing Center. And I had a small number of children at that time, but now it has grown. There are over 70 or 80 of kids right now, and it's growing by the, every month I find somebody new coming. So it's grown, but this is besides the young adults. And his curriculum is something that is very close to my heart, because it's the main overall goal of the Satya Sai education in human values is, as the name suggests, human values. It's to draw out the goodness that is present in every human being. As I walked in, I heard Dr. Kumar and you talk about all the problems in the world, right? Violence, all this problems that persist. And all this is because of the lack of understanding of human values. We are missing that element. In this world today, we have so much in terms of sensory pleasures and all the physical things that draw us, that we tend to forget who we are. And that inside, there's only one God. According to me, and I'm sure most of you believe, there's only one God. The 5 value systems: Satya, truth; Dharma, right action; Shanti is peace; Prema is love; Ahimsa is non-violence. So what we have is a curriculum in place actually. Some of us got together and decided to have, based on Satya Sai Baba's teachings, decided to come with a curriculum and lesson plans. And then we have discussions, questions as always, questions based on the story, discussions. And then role plays sometimes we have debates, we have games based on the theme of that day, and affirmation before they leave, life application and affirmation. So they're going to say that, okay, I am God, so I'm going to behave like God. God is in me, whatever, I'm just randomly saying something. So there's an affirmation they have to take. And then towards the end of the day, it's life application. Are you putting this into practice? And they have to keep a diary and they have to sometimes they have to return their assignments to the teacher involved, whoever has given the assignments. So it's a way of keeping tab on, and then we have meetings with the parents too. So that way there's a dialogue going on where parents are aware of what the lessons are and what the responsibilities we have given them. So it's a very long process, and I totally enjoy doing that. So if you ask me, my biggest achievement in my life is basically being a guru. As I say guru, because that's where the inner transformation is ongoing. I'm not saying the inner transformation is over yet. It's an ongoing process. We learn every day. I learn from them and they learn from me. I don't take it as a one-way traffic. It's never a one-way traffic. You learn lots from the kids and the other older ones too. So it's a very Swami says the three HVs: head, heart, and hands. Signal comes from there, from the heart and the head. The heart has to examine it for the human value content, because we're talking about human values. And obviously a decision has to be made based on that, and then the hand puts it into action. So it's the three HVs that is also crucial to this whole program of SATYA SAI education in human values. And there's another aspect. So if I have to talk, I can talk for a very long time.
It's very interesting.
Because we have been trained in this. It's a couple of days of training to be an SSC teacher. And then there's another aspect that Satya Sai Baba has talked about, is educare, a new concept now. So you talk about all these human values, but it is now education with care, with love. So the way you are imparting this counts a lot, and how you go about tapping this inner goodness. We're not trying to impose on anybody. You can be of any religion. All, as you can see, symbols. All religions are one. So with due respect, this is not a religious thing. It's a multicultural, it's a multifaceted. It's an exploration of just who you are and that inner goodness, bringing out, drawing out that inner goodness. That's what we do. And it really has a big bearing on this children's life. I'll tell you something very interesting, which I think is Swami's Leela, or miracle as we call it. Within one semester of my teaching at New York City College of Technology, it was a lab, basically. I was teaching in a lab, one of those biology labs, and it was the last day. And a student was talking to me. There's a blackboard here. The student was talking to me, and she was the last one to leave. And of course, she stood there talking a lot about her future plans and all that. Then I said, okay, bye to her. And I turned back and looked at the blackboard. Because all the time I was facing the student and blackboard is behind me. And they've written, interesting, this is a very short time of joining this college. I was a relatively new professor. This was written, Dr. Karthikeyan is love and we love her. And I don't think it's something that, honestly, I thought is Swami. Because in Swami's teachings, I was so touched. I was like, who wrote this? I can't imagine anyone standing there right behind my back and writing this for so. And it didn't seem like something that has come out from those students. They appreciate me a lot. There's no doubt about that. But it was so early in my career, teaching career, that this was written. And I was like, maybe it's him, Who knows how that message came about, but it was written. And that's what in education I try my level best to do, is to care for them. That's something they always write to me back, that you care. And that is why did that happen? It's all because of Swami, Satya Sai Baba's teachings. Whenever I talk,